Hi lovelies, welcome back again to the channel. Today's tutorial is going to be on how to cut 6 pieces princess dart bustier, okay, without any half cut or joining. Okay, so I'm going to show you a simple method you can use to cut the gown step by step. All right, the cutting is going to be very easy, so relax, make yourself comfortable, and make sure not to skip this video because every part of it is going to be very helpful as far as this gown is concerned. All right, so before I continue, I must appreciate all of you. I want to say a very big thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I pray that God will continue to bless all of you, especially my wonderful subscribers. God will continue to bless all of you the more in Jesus' name, amen. So if you are new to the channel, my name is Chisom Ene. In this channel I teach about hair growth and fashion tutorials. Okay, so if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to join this beautiful family. Okay, and remember to turn the notification bell on so that you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video. Okay, so if you want to see how I cut the fitted 6 pieces princess dart bustier without any half cut, please continue watching and watch to the end. All right, thank you. So guys, this is the material we are going to use to cut the 6 pieces gown. Okay, this is 6 yards of an African print. We are going to be making use of maybe 5 yards or 5 yards plus. Okay, so guys, this is the normal length of the Ankara, 45 inches in length. Okay, and the full length of the gown that I'm cutting is 58, so it's not going to be enough because the Ankara does not have enough length. Okay, so it's 45 by length. So because of that, I'm not going to cut like this. I'm going to measure towards this side so that I'll be able to get 58 inches, which is the full length of the gown. Okay, so I'm going to measure out the full length of the gown like so, and I'll add 2 inches allowance to that. Okay, so this is the full length, 58 inches plus 2 inches allowance, making it 60 inches. So I'm going to cut from here. Okay, after I measure out the full length of the gown, I was able to get 3 pieces, 1, 2, 3 from the 6 yards. Okay, so this one is the head tie. All right, so I'm going to cut out the 2 sides, the front 2 sides, and then the back 2 sides with these 2. Okay, and then I'll cut out the center front and center back with this one. Okay, if that makes sense. I'm going to start with the front side. After cutting the front 2 sides, the front side, then we'll go over to the back side. Okay, so I'll fold it based on how wide I want the down part of it to be. All right, knowing that it's a 6 pieces gown, the down part has flay. Okay, so how wide do you want the flay to be? Okay, so for me, I'm going to make the wideness of the down part, I'll make it 22. Okay, 22, that is 11 on fold. Okay, so I'm going to fold it. I will fold this wrapper like this, 22 inches. Okay, look at the wrapper. So I'll fold it like this, and then the wideness of the down part, the base, is going to be 22 inches. So let me measure it out to make sure that it's 22 inches. Yeah, this is 22 inches. Okay, so that means one part of the side is going to be 22 and the other part is going to be 22. Okay, so if you fold it like this, that means it's going to be 22 divided by 2, which is 11. that means it's going to be 11 inches on fold. But I'm not going to fold it like this. This is how I will leave it. Okay, so at the end of the day, we are going to get one side of the front and the other side of the front. 22 inches wide, 22 inches wide, if that makes sense. So my shoulder measurement is 8. That is 16 divided by 2, 8. Then I mark. Then my neck width is 3.5 inches standard. Then I mark. It's not, this neck width is not fixed. You can decide to make use of any neck width of your choice. Okay, so we're making use of 3.5 inches neck width standard. Then I mark. So on this shoulder measurement, I'll measure 1 inch. I'll come down by 1 inch for shoulder slope, and I'll mark. So I'm going to connect this to this neck width. I'll connect the line to the neck width. Okay, so from here I'm going to measure my shoulder allowance of half inch shoulder allowance. You can decide to make use of 1 inch shoulder allowance if you are good at using too much allowance. So but I'm making use of half inch shoulder allowance. Then I mark. Okay, so from here I'm going to measure my armhole depth. Okay, so this time I'm going to use the formula. So the formula is bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. So my bust circumference is 39. 39 divided by 6 plus 1.5 will give me 8. So my armhole depth is going to be 8 inches. Then I mark. Okay, like so. Yeah, this is my armhole depth. So I'm going to measure my bust circumference here. Okay, so that I can draw my armhole curve. So my bust circumference is 39. 39 divided by 4 will give me 9.75. Then I mark 9.75. So I'm going to create my armhole curve now. Okay, so to create my armhole curve, I'm going to measure this line, and what I have is 8. The middle point of 8 is 4. So I'm going to mark the midpoint of 4 inches. Okay, that is 8 divided by 2 will give me 4. Okay, so I'm going to come in by half inch. Okay, come in by half inch like so, and then I'll connect this to the shoulder and connect this to this bust measurement here to create my armhole curve. I hope you understand. Okay, yeah, so this is my armhole curve. So from here I'm going to add my vertical measurements. Okay, my vertical measurement is from shoulder to bust point to under bust to waist to hip and then to the half length. So from shoulder I'm going to measure my bust point. My bust point is 10 inches. Then I mark. My under bust is 13. And my waist, from shoulder to waist, for me is 19 inches. Then I mark. From shoulder to my hip is 25 inches. Then I mark. I'm going to be shifting it so that you'll be able to see it, because this camera cannot capture the whole length. Okay, so from shoulder to my half length, my half length in this case is where the fitted part is going to stop, as in where the flay is going to start from. All right, so my half length in this case is 34 inches. Then I mark. These are both the knee length. Okay, So you may want to make your own 35 or 33. It's just entirely your choice. Okay, so my half length is 34. From this point, I'm going to draw my flay. Okay, so I'm going to rule out the lines so that it will be very clear. We are going to create our princess line now. So to do that, I'll come to the bust point. This is the bust point line. Come to the bust point and I'll measure my bust span. I'll measure my bust span. My bust span is the distance from one bust to the other bust, okay? Or you call it nipple to nipple. So my bust span here is 7. 7 divided by 2 give me 3.5 plus half inch sewing allowance, making it 4 inches. So my bust span here is 4 inches. Then I mark. Measure 4 inches and mark. Okay? So I come to the under bust and measure 3.5. That is minus half inch from whatever I have here. So this is 4 inches. I'm going to minus half inch from 4 inches. Then I'll have 3.5. Then I'll mark here. Under bust, I'll measure 3.5. Okay? So I'll measure 3.5 on the waistline and then I'll measure 3.5 down. Okay? My hip line and the half length. So I'm going to connect the lines. Coming to the armhole, I'm going to measure this armhole and then to get the center, the midpoint. So after I measure the armhole, I have 9 inches. 9 divided by 2 will give me 4.5. So I'm going to mark 4.5 here. Okay? So this is the midpoint of the armhole. So I'll connect from here. I'm going to connect the line to this midpoint on the armhole. Okay? So now we have our princess line. Okay? Down. From here to the down part. Okay? So we are going to create the princess bustier. So to create our breast cup, I'll come to the under bust. I'll measure 2 inches. Okay? For big bust, you can measure 2.5 or 3 inches. And for small, you can measure 1.5. Alright? Then I'll come to this armhole line. I'll measure 1.5 inches here. Okay? But I'm going to share it on this line. So if it is big size, you can measure 2 inches here. Okay? That is 1 inch upwards and 1 inch downwards for big size. So here I'm going to measure 0.75 upwards and 0.75 downwards, making it 1.5 inches. I'll measure 0.75 here and mark. Then I'll measure 0.75 here and mark. Okay? So I'll come to the bust point here and I'll go down by 1 inch and mark. And I'll go up by 1 inch and mark. This is to create a very smooth curve, okay? And mark. I'm going to connect from here to here with a curve and then connect from here to here with a curve also. Okay? So I'll do that with a free hand, with my free hand. Okay? We have created the bustier as you can see. Okay, this is the breast cup. All right, so then these 2 inches, I'll take it downwards like so. All right, I connected this 0.7 inches upwards. I connected it to this 1 inch upwards here from the bust point. Okay, it's a straight line. All right, so the next thing I'll do is to come to this line, this place. I'll extend this by 1.5 inches. The 1.5 inches we measured here, I'll use it to extend this line by 1.5 inches. Okay, so I'll measure 1.5 inches and mark. So I'll extend the line. Okay, this extension is very important. Okay, so that when you sew the breast cut, when you sew the princess dart, it's going to, you know, it's going to align, it's going to match up with this one. Okay, so if you don't extend this line after sewing it, this line will short to not match up with this line here. Okay, so whatever you have here, whatever you add, you measure this place, you are going to use it to extend this line. If you have 1 inch here, use 1 inch to extend this line. If you have 2 inches here, use 2 inches to extend this line. Okay, I hope you understand. The next thing I'm going to do is to come to this line, the armhole line. I'll come to the armhole line and measure this 1.5 inches that we have here. I'll measure it on the armhole line. Okay, I'll add it here. So 1.5, then I mark. Okay, then I'll extend the line. So I'm going to create a new armhole curve now. All right. So this is our new armhole curve. Okay. So the next step is to add our horizontal measurements. So I'll come to this point. This is my bust point. I'll measure my bust circumference. So my bust is 39. 39 divided by 4 will give me 9.75. Then I will mark. This is 9.75 here. Then I'm going to add this 1.5 inches here plus 2 inches sewing allowance, making it 3.5 inches. Then I mark. Okay. My under bust circumference is 34. 34 divided by 4 will give me 8.5. Then I'll mark 8.5 here. Then plus these 2 inches that we have here and 2 inches sewing allowance, making it 4 inches. Then I'll mark. Okay. So coming to the waistline, my waist measurement is 37. 37 divided by 4 will give me 9.25. Then I'll mark. This is 9.25 here. Plus these 2 inches here and 2 inches sewing allowance, making it 4 inches. My hip measurement, coming to the hip line, my hip measurement is 42. 42 divided by 4 will give me 10.5. Then I mark. Plus 4 inches sewing allowance. Okay? That is plus these 2 here. So coming to the half length. Okay? Remember this half length is where the flare is going to start from. Okay? So this place is where the fitted part ends, or where the fitted part is going to stop, and then this is where the flare is going to start as well. So here, to measure this point, I'm going to minus 4 inches from my hip measurement. My hip measurement is 42. 42 minus 4 will give me 38. 38 divided by 4 will give me 9.5. Then I mark. Plus this 2 inches here and 2 inches sewing allowance, 4 inches. Then I mark 4 inches sewing allowance. So I'm going to connect the lines, okay? So I will extend this line at the bust point to the armhole, okay? So guys, now remember what we are cutting is the two front side. That's what we are cutting, okay? So having done this, the next thing we are going to do is to come to the half length. So because the camera cannot capture everything, I'm going to shift it. I'll shift it to the point. This is the half length, and this is where the flay is going to start from, okay? And again, remember that the wideness of the flay for me is going to be 22 inches. You know, we are cutting 6 pieces gown, so each of the pieces at the base is going to be 22 inches wide, okay? So the next thing for us to do is to get our flay at the down part, okay? So from this place, I'm going to measure the flay part like so, and then I'll connect it to the down part like this. And then coming to this point, from the half length, remember, I'm going to also create the flay to this point like this. So I'm going to cut it now. I'm going to cut this one at the half length. Okay. So guys, we've gotten the two front sides of the 6 pieces gown, okay? From here, this is the fitted part, and then this is the flay part, okay? So with this method, you don't need to divide anything by 6, okay? So this is the simple method and the easiest method you can use to cut your 6 pieces gown, okay? Just like we cut the 2 front side, we are going to cut the 2 back sides, okay? So I'm going to set this one aside while we cut the 2 back sides, okay? So for the back side, I'll measure 2 inches zip allowance here, okay? So the next thing to measure is the shoulder measurement. Our shoulder measurement is 8. That is 16 divided by 2. Give me 8. Okay. So I measured neck width 3.5. Then coming to this shoulder measurement, I'll come down by 1 inch shoulder slope, and then connect it to the neck width like so. So I'll measure 1/2 inch shoulder allowance, okay, from here, and I'll connect it as well. So from here, from this place, I'll measure my armhole depth 8 inches, then I'll mark. I'm going to connect it. Okay, so to create my armhole curve, I'll measure my bust circumference, which is 39 divided by 4, 9.75. Then I mark. So the midpoint of the armhole is 4. That is 8 divided by 2, 4. We are not going to come in by half because this place is the back side. Okay, so I'm going to create my curve, my armhole curve. So the next thing to do is to add my vertical measurement. My bust point is 10 inches, then I mark. Under bust 13. From shoulder to waist 19. From shoulder to my hip 25. And then from shoulder to my half length, which is where the flare will start from, 34. Mine is 34. Then I mark. So I will mark the lines. I'll rule out the lines. The next thing I'll do is to create the princess line. Okay, so according to the bust point, I measure 4 inches. Okay, which is our bust span, and mark. Then at the under bust, I'll mark 4 inches as well. Okay, waistline, I'll mark 4 inches. Then the hip line, I'll mark 4 inches, and then the half length, I'll mark 4 inches. Then I'll connect the lines. So we are going to connect this line to the armhole. Okay, so we are going to determine where the line is going to be placed. All right, so if I measure the armhole, I'll get 9 inches. All right, so the midpoint of 9 is 4.5. Then I mark. Okay, so instead of connecting this line from 4.5 down, I'm going to go up by 1.5 inches and mark. Okay, so from this 1.5, I'll connect it to the bust point, like so. So this is our princess line now. Okay, so I'll come to the waistline. This is the waistline. All right, I'll come to the waistline. I'll measure 0.5 inches at this side and 0.5 inches at this side. Okay, so this is to create my dart. All right, so I'll blend it towards the bust point and then blend it towards the hip line. Okay, so this is our dart here at the waistline. Okay, this is going to help the shape at the back side. All right, this dart is very important. So the next thing to do is to extend this line. I will extend this line by 1 inch. Okay, so that it will correspond when you are sewing it. Okay, so I'll measure 1 inch upwards and then I'll extend the line. Okay, so I'm going to create a new armhole now, armhole curve. So this is our new armhole curve now. Okay, I hope you are following me. This is very simple to achieve. Okay, so we are going to add our horizontal measurements now. So my bust circumference is 39, divided by 4 is 9.75. So I'll mark plus 2 inches sewing allowance, my under bust measurement is 34. Divide by 4 is 8.5. Okay, plus 2 inches sewing allowance. Then I mark. So my waist measurement is 37. 37 by 4 divided by 4 will give us 9.25. Then I mark 9.25. Okay, plus this 1 inch here. Then 2 inches sewing allowance, making it 3 inches. Then I mark. Coming to the hip line, my hip measurement is 42. 42 divided by 4 will give me 10.5. Then I mark. Plus 2.5 inches allowance. Then coming to the half length, going to minus 4 inches from my hip measurement and divide by 4. So my hip measurement is 42. 42 minus 4 will give me 38. So 38 divided by 4. 38 divided by 4 will give me 9.5. Then I mark. Plus 2 inches allowance. Okay? So I'm going to connect the lines. So remember, we are cutting the two sides for the back side. Okay? These two sides. So we'll come to the half length. This is the half length. And then we'll do the same thing we did on the front side. So we are going to, from this line, which is the half length, this is where the flare will start from. So we are going to draw our flare now. Okay, this is our flare to the hemline or to the base. So I'll make my flare. I'll mark my flare like this. And then from here, from this princess line, I'll also do my mark my flare like so. Okay, so this is our flare. So I'm going to cut it out now. Yeah, so we now have the two sides of the back side. Okay, this is the two sides. So this is the fitted part, and then this is the flare part. Okay, remember the wideness for us, the wideness we are working for me is 22. Okay, so you are free to make use any wideness of your choice. If you want, you can make your own wideness 20, 18, 19. All of them are okay, but I want my own to be very full at the down part. Okay, so that's why I'm making use of 22 wideness for the flare part. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is to cut the front center part and the back center part. Guys, now we are going to cut this front, the center front and the center back. Okay, that is the final part of the the gown, the cotton. Okay, so we are going to use this for that. Okay, so what we'll simply do is to use this one. This is the front side, the one we got when we are cutting the front two sides. Okay, so this one is the front. We are going to place it like this. Front has closed side, so we are going to place it on this closed side as well. So from this half length, we are going to draw our flare for the center front. Okay, and remember the wideness we are working with 22 inches. I'll simply come to this baseline, this down. You know, the thing is on fold and we are cutting for the center front. Okay, so we are going to divide 22 by 2 to get 11. So we'll come here and measure 11 inches. 11 inches and mark. Okay, so when I open it up, it will become 22. It's as simple as that. So I'll mark 11 inches here. I'll connect it to this point like this. So this is the flare for the center front because it's on fold. Yeah, so I'm going to cut it out now. After cutting it out, we'll now add our neckline. Okay, so I'll cut it out now. So we're going to remove this one now. So our neck width is 3.5. I'll be making use of round neck. So the neck depth, my neck depth is 6 inches. Then I'll mark. So I'm going to draw the round neck. Then I'll cut it out. So yeah, now we have our center front. Okay, so this is 22 inches now when you open it, but when it's unfold it will be 11 inches. So we are going to cut the center back. Okay, so this is the side we remove the flare part of the center front. Okay, so for us to cut the center back, I'm going to turn it. Okay, I'm going to turn it, and then this place will be the upper part, while this place will be this place will be the down part. Okay, so this is the back, the center back. I'm going to place it on this one like so. So it has the zip allowance already. Okay, and then I'll come to the down part. This is the half length. Okay, so this material now, just like the front side, is also on fold, but this side is open. This is zip allowance side. Okay, so what we need to do is to measure out the 11 inches wideness of the flare. Okay, so I'll come here, I'll measure 11 inches and mark. Okay, so I'll still add the 2 inches allowance, the 2 inches zip allowance here, making it 13 inches. So what I'll measure out now is 13 inches. Okay, and mark. So from this 13 inches, I'm going to connect it to this half length. All right, I hope it's clear. so that for us to get our flay. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know if you understand this method. Okay, this method is very, very simple and easy. All right, so I'm going to cut it out now. So now we have the center back. Okay, so I'm going to remove this one, and then I'll add my neckline, my back neckline. Okay, this is, we are removing 2 inches for zip, and then we have 3.5 inches neck width. Okay, so I want to make use of V neck at the back side. Okay, this is 2 inches for zip, and then can go down. Okay, so for the neck depth for the back side, I'll make use of 8 inches. Okay, then I'll connect. I would like to make it a little bit curved, and then this is how I'll cut it. So now we have our center back. Okay, as simple as that. All right, this is the flare part. Unfold. So when you open it, and then after joining it, the wideness of the flare is also going to be 22 inches. Okay, so guys, I believe with this simple method you can cut your 6 pieces gown without any half cut or half length or any joining. Okay, I believe you can cut your gown now. All right, so let me know if you can cut it in the comment section, or I encourage you to practice it. It is very, very simple, just the normal princess cutting, and then you see how we are able to achieve our flay at the down part. Okay, I believe it is very, very simple. You can now practice it, and then let me know your results in the comment section. So guys, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Okay, and subscribe if you have not done so. Remember to turn the notification bell on so that you'll be notified for more videos. Okay, till next time, for now it is bye bye.